It's astounding that chaos can ensure after one incident, how one day can have the impact of an earthquake to some, and a minor breeze to others. For Sam, it's the given time before she falls, the time to observe, to reflect, to learn. The time to realise that living each day like it's your last has consequences not just to herself, but to every person around her. This is 2 takes, and this is one shot. An analysis of Before I Fall. Spoilers are ahead. It's interesting how a day can show so much but so little about someone. We follow Sam, a lovable character with her 3 best friends and her boyfriend Rob. She's funny, charming, and seems to have a good life, from what we can tell. We can tell that the 4 friends are really close, but also that Sam isn't really close to her family, and that she's looking forward to losing her virginity to her boyfriend, whom she's been dating for over a year. But there are hints of something else behind the perfectionism on the first day that we see, especially when we realise that the friends, semi-including Sam, actually bullying Juliet, and how at the party, although Sam doesn't spill beer on Juliet or push her around, shouting what others are saying like psycho, doesn't actually show that what we thought we knew about Sam. Like everything else, there are layers, and it takes time to reveal them. We could pretend and say ignorance is bliss, but it really depends if Sam feels that she's hiding behind the bubble that her friends have made with each other that excuse any part of their behaviour, or even her own. She might defend herself, but her friend Kent from 3rd grade argues with her, wondering why she played along with the name-calling towards Juliet. And it's simply this: she's following the herd, and she hasn't found her voice. For the repetitive days that follow, each time is more predominant than the last. At first, thinking a quick fix by not attending a senior party shows that there is more than what is on the surface. Juliet kills herself anyway, whether or not Sam and her friends were there. The seed of self-destruction was already planted years ago, when it was revealed that Lindsay and Juliet were friends in the 5th grade, and that the name-calling was because of Lindsay's doing, figuratively and literally. And how the constant loop that Sam is stuck in is because of things outside of her control. And in a way, her paying the price is unfair, and we can all agree on that. But this isn't a film about who is paying what price. It's about something far more than that. This is when the days become the same one, a hell of sorts, of the repetitive actions that gel together until she wakes up to realise that since the day is the same, then undoing it can also be an option. Hence the rebellious stage of the anger that we can all relate to when we are stuck. Laughing at when her parents ground her, and her response is that she's always been grounded. How she tells the harsh truth that we, the audience, have been given hints at, primarily of how Lindsay never lets her guard down based on what happened when she was small, how Ali is an alcoholic, and how Elle cannot get over her ex. This rage shows us that not everything is picture perfect between these 4 best friends. And even in moments when this isn't about the rage day, we can see them split into 2 groups based on whose favourite is who. But isn't that always going to happen in a group? How Kent gives her a note in class that says what we are all thinking: this isn't Sam. But what is the real Sam? Kent's perception of her, or ours? There are secrets, hidden behind the jokes and snidey comments, but there's also love in the actions of others. Like when Sam recounts that Lindsay toilet rolled a guy's house just because they said Sam was a bad kisser. There is love, and there is hate, and there is nothing Sam can do about it. It's about the moments up to this point, this day that keeps going, that shows her relationships and how we perceive them ourselves. The original day, we can see that Sam isn't close to her family, pushing them away like a rebellious teenager would. But when the day is recounted over and over, Sam has the time to realise that, for a while anyway, that recounting the same day should be a worthy day, not for her, but for those around her. Hence her family has a bigger part to play, because Sam realises she needs to show her love not just for her friends, but for her family too. This day, which I've named the Sister Day, is my favourite day. where they are just taking a day for themselves, and then a family dinner out, enjoying each other's company. Sam isn't chasing guys or uploading her Snapchat. She is living in the moment with the people that matter the most, saying the things she hasn't said, explaining about her relationships to her sister and asking the same back. Learning about her sister by asking the questions that wouldn't have crossed her mind, and the closeness with her mother, of asking with honesty how her mother perceives her. That loving is always going to be there. Sam knows she is loved, but breaking down the heart of it, does her mother think she is a good person? And in the end, it doesn't matter what her mother thinks, it's about what Sam thinks about herself that is more important. It's about finding that one good choice, that one good thing, and seeing where it leads you. Following what makes a person feel good about themselves, and going forward with the good choices. These are the moments that define us all. And this is why it's such a beautiful day, the Sister Day, and I can't help but express how wonderful it is. There is another day before the last day that I want to talk about, the day about Kent. We all know that Kent is in love with Sam from the beginning with that uniquely coloured rose, and how their relationship has been long-lasting from years ago, when Sam stuck up for Kent and he responded that Sam was his hero. The beautiful part was when Kent also explained that he vowed to someday return the favour and become Sam's hero, no matter how long that took. Now, have a moment to reflect on what Kent has been doing on all of these loop days. He's there for Sam, and eventually he has the courage to do what he's always wanted to do, which is to express his love in a kiss. But the constant for me about Kent is that he sees Sam for who she really is. He takes her as she is, adapting to all the situations, whether she's angry, crying, unenthusiastic or attentive. He's there, like an anchor in the chaos. And when Sam realises the difference between love and lust, it's only then does she express it back to him, because he is the one that is worthy of her kindness, and of love in general. The last day, the most important day, the best day, the most heartbreaking day, has Sam knowing what to do, and that is good. But I want to reflect on how she feels and acts. And if you were knowing it was your last day, what would you do? And I know many people would go wild, do things on a whim, even revel in some criminal activity. But seeing as Sam has spent the time in her last time for quite some time, that impulse of selfishness isn't there anymore. She's gone past that want, that need of immediate gratification. Breaking up with her boyfriend Rob because he isn't worthy of her love, which I can say with certainty we all saw from the very first day. Of leaving the house by hugging her parents and saying she loves them, by letting her sister Izzy run after her with her gloves, and giving her a memorable moment of saying she's perfect, no matter what anyone says. Of saying what she loves about her friends, whilst they sit outside and admire the view. Of saying I love you to Kent and meaning it, knowing for years that Kent had secretly loved her back. Of saving Juliet from the car on the road because she was worthy of saving. Because like all of those moments that Juliet cannot forget about, the bullying and the sadness, it can get to you. And like Anna in the bathroom recites, high school is just a blip in one's life. And it is true. It's a passing of the wave of time, a moment that can perhaps help intimidate, unravel, or make someone become who they are supposed to be. But it is not the be-all and end-all of someone's being. And for Juliet, it might seem like the end of the line, how nothing changes, how she is bullied with no friends for years, but the small things, like Sam's rose to her saying it's never too late, might ignite a difference to Juliet's life in years to come. And the beauty lies in the unknowing, because now Juliet has more time. The importance lies in what Sam has discovered in her moments within these days that are the same. How she has changed people's lives just a little at a time, and how, in the end, she accepts her fate and making the last day the most worthy day, like she is living her best in the last day of her life. We don't know what each day brings, what we react towards, what we strive for, yearn for, fight for. We go about our daily business, using the hours we have in our own way. Sometimes the time is spent reluctantly, and with others, with the utmost excitement. But the truth of the matter is, we never realize that the time we have is so fragile, how it can be stripped away from us at any given moment. The time before we fall in love, fall out of love, fall in this rage, this fear, this sadness, this realization, is the most important part. The time before the fall. The time to reflect and to wonder what to do differently. Before you fall, you have time to fly, so don't waste it. Be who you strive to be. Become who you are. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed what was said, then please support the show from my Patreon. And if you want to know what's happening next, follow my Instagram. To know my day-to-day thoughts, follow my Twitter. And if you want to read what was said instead, then follow my blog, linked elsewhere. With your support, I can only make this better, so again, thank you from the bottom of my heart.